Hi, I'm Hub Arkush, and along with our senior editor, Eric Edholm. We're here with more of Pro Football Weekly's exclusive NFL Way We Hear It, all the news, scoops, and rumors before they happen. Now, you know by now, Carson Palmer has been traded from the Cincinnati Bengals to the Oakland Raiders. But what happened behind the scenes? Let's start with the Oakland Raiders, where there's a huge question here, Eric. Who's running the show? Whose move is this? Because there's no football person in place. Now, according to our sources, this is Hue Jackson's trade. But what's really interesting about it is this doesn't appear to be one that would have the Al Davis stamp of approval. Davis never minded giving up first-round draft picks, but Jason Campbell was his guy. He compared him to Jim Plunkett by giving up 2 number ones, or a 1 and a 2, depending on what happens, and bringing in Carson Palmer. You've now made Carson Palmer the guy of the present and the future.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about the Hue Jackson angle. He's got experience with Carson Palmer, recruited him to USC, spent time on the roster with him for a couple years when Jackson was the receivers coach in Cincinnati. So it's clear this is a guy he's wanted for a while and had his eye on. It appears that he thought Campbell was sort of a nice consolation prize when they made that trade previously. But yeah, it's very interesting to see what this team's makeup is going to be. The receivers are playing a little bit better, but can Carson Palmer take him to the playoffs? If he does, they get a first-round pick again, another one, a second one.
Right. Now, Hue Jackson, of course, has history with Carson Palmer, but clearly he is determined to try and give a present to Al Davis, albeit after he's gone. In the year that he goes, get to a Super Bowl. Is it enough? According to our sources, no. It's going to take Carson Palmer a while, because now we get to the other part of the story. Why was he available? Now, clearly he'd still be the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals had he not chosen to demand a trade. But what got Mike Brown off the dime? Well, the Raiders made him an offer he couldn't refuse, even if it's a 1 or a 2. And again, our sources are telling us that the Raiders have badly overpaid for a guy who was not in his prime at the point that he retired from the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, mucho credit to the Bengals, too. I mean, they're a team that's been criticized for the way they handle these things. Mike Brown, one of the few GM/owners in the league, along with Jerry Jones. And he's a guy who underpays his scouting staff, doesn't have a full personnel department, and yet he got a pretty good deal here, and their draft record is pretty darn good. I mean, a lot of this team that's overachieving at 4-2 is because of the draft, including Andy Dalton. That's another reason I think they made the trade.
Well, and one scout told me about Carson Palmer, he may just be too passive to lead a team that has a lot of personalities on it to a Super Bowl. We shall see. He's going to get a chance to lead the Oakland Raiders. For more news, notes, and analysis, and the best way we hear it anywhere, check right here at ProFootballWeekly.com, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.